Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of Everything Vive. I am Zane here with Ronnie. Ronnie, how's it going, man? How's your week been?
It's going well. It's been a crazy week, but it's the weekend now, so can't complain about that.
Almost there, man. Almost there. Well, we got another episode of Game Talk. As promised, we will announce the winners for the giveaway at the end of the episode today, so make sure you stick around for that. But we will dive right into Game Talk. And we only have a couple games this week. Like Ronnie mentioned, it has been a busy week, but we did get some cool games that we are excited to play for the following week. So let's jump into it. I'll go first. I got this demo a while ago, and I think I even mentioned it on the podcast, but it's the SVR. So it's called Survive, but they do kind of like a play on words. It's spelled SVRvive, and it's ultimately just like one of those escape the room type of games. And so, but I feel like it's a little bit more refined and a little bit more complex. And this is just a demo right now, so it's a free demo that you can get online or on Steam. And I've spoken with the developer behind it just privately through Facebook, and it looks like they'll be coming out with a much more elaborate version. And this has like a storyline element to it, but the first level is a very, like I said, escape the room type of game. But I do find it a little bit more complex than the other ones, and it's really, really creepy. Just the premise that they give you. So without giving anything away or without any spoilers, I mean, you're essentially working for some secret organization, but you're in a very dangerous place with I guess a very dangerous person that you're trying to collect evidence about. And so you're in a room, all you got is a flashlight. There's like creepy stuff all over the place. And so, for me, I'm not good with those jumpy games necessarily, but I like this one a lot just because I thought that there was like a storyline element to it, and you're kind of guided along as you go, as compared to some of the more simple escape the room type of games. Have you tried any of the other escape the room games, Ronnie?
No, I haven't actually. So that would be kind of. I mean, the closest thing that I've played to something like that was a chair in a room.
Oh, okay. We should actually talk about that on a future episode.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely have to bring that up, but
because I do want to try that. So okay.
No, it's definitely really cool. I'm actually, it's been a while since I played it, so I'd want to kind of replay it just to regather my thoughts on it before talking about it on the podcast. But I haven't tried many of the other ones. So actually, as you were describing Survive, it sounds like something I'd be interested in.
Yeah, and like I said, what's cool about this is that it seems like it's part of a larger story, and I guess I'm going to compare it to the Gallery, episode Call the Starseed. And I will say, though, it's not as refined as that, and which is fine because it's still in demo mode, or at least this is just a demo level. But in terms of the way that you can interact with the environment, I mean, you can interact with pretty much anything and everything, which is what I really appreciated about Call of the Starseed. And so I'm just hoping that with the full version coming out, I believe, later this year, and we'll see if we can even get the developer on the show. It would be. I'm just excited for where the full game can go.
That sounds awesome.
So, yeah, with that, you got one, Ronnie, for this week?
Yeah, I was just gonna. It's less of a game and more of an experience, but I think it has a ton of potential. And I'm actually surprised we haven't talked about it on the podcast sooner. The experience I'm talking about is called the Foo Show, and I mean, really, it's almost like a VR podcast in a sense. It was created by Tested's Will Smith. He's super excited about VR, very interested in what it can do as a medium, and they basically developed this program that they hope to use to interview developers and learn more about different games, not necessarily games that are in VR. The first episode, and it's currently the only episode that's out, revolves around the game Firewatch. And basically, they found a way to create, in-game avatars of themselves, and then he's able to talk with the developers using the actual assets from the game itself. So you can actually be kind of like a third party standing there with Will Smith and the developers that he's interviewing, and you can kind of walk around in the space and check out what it would be like to actually be in the environment of Firewatch for yourself. Yeah, it's almost to me kind of like like a commentary track on a Blu-ray or DVD or something. It's kind of you going in a little bit deeper into a game that you like, and getting to kind of witness the environment along with listening to what the interviewers have to say about it. So I thought that it was a really cool first episode. It's been several months since that episode was aired, and there still haven't been others as far as I know. But I did hear recently on another podcast that it sounds like he will be, at some point releasing new episodes soon. So kind of, it's free. So I recommend everybody go and check out the Firewatch episode, especially if you've played Firewatch. It's a really cool thing. And then, kind of keep your eyes out for future episodes.
Yeah, you had mentioned this actually a while back, and I know we had talked offline about it, or not on the podcast about it, and it sounded really interesting just because I don't think anything is out there like this right now.
No, and I mean, right now the one episode that's out, I mean, it's going to be much more interesting to people that have played Firewatch, but I think the potential for something like this is huge. Like you said, there's nothing else like it that's out there right now, and you could imagine if more and more games that people have really had a chance to play get added onto this. People, like anyone that's a fan of the game that's the content for the episode is going to absolutely love being able to go into their favorite game, in a VR kind of mode and look around and kind of see things for themselves.
No, absolutely. That is really exciting. And I think when we had talked in the past about it, I think we were trying to figure out how he was doing it or what this story was behind it. So maybe he might be a good option to get on the podcast as well. After everyone gives it a try, maybe if he comes out with another episode, we can really dive into it with him.
He'd be fascinating to talk to. So yeah, that would be really cool.
Cool. All right. Well, Will Smith, if you are listening, we would love to have you on the show, and we'll have our people contact your people very soon. All right. Got one more game for you. If you've played the Trials on Tatooine demo, which is free, and I don't think we've even covered that on the podcast, but if you've played the Trials on Tatooine demo, first of all, it's awesome. You'll love it. If you're a Star Wars fan or not, it's just really cool to experience it. And I'm sorry if I give it away, but you get to use a lightsaber. It's Star Wars, so I mean, you get to use a lightsaber. And there is a game out there. I think it's $4 when I got it on Steam. It's called Lightblade VR. Now, it's a simple game, but it allows you to essentially train as a quote unquote Jedi Knight. I think that they don't have the IP rights on it to use any kind of Star Wars characters or anything, but which is why it's called Lightblade VR. But it's essentially the same thing. So you're training. If you remember, like some of the earlier movies, you have like one of those balls that's kind of in the air, and it like doesn't necessarily circle around you, but it moves and fires those like laser beams at you, and you have. You can hold a one or two lightsabers depending on like what skill level you reach, and you're essentially just blocking it. And so it's just like a trainer, honestly. But I have a lot of fun with it, and I show it to people who, like I said, they don't have to be Star Wars fans, but so many people get a kick out of it. It's like I said, it's $4, so it's like an easy thing to get, and it's a lot of fun that has a lot of replay value, not necessarily for yourself, but it's one of those things that you can show to first-time users in VR because of the game's simplicity, because of the nostalgia factor that comes with it, and just because of the fact that like it's somewhat Star Wars related. So you're going to have a lot of people who are fans or have seen the movies and just like, oh, wow, this is so cool. Like getting to do this in VR now is even more amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And I've played it as well. I'll say that one of the cooler things about it, compared to Trials on Tatooine, is the fact that the lightsaber really feels like you can hit it again. You can hold two lightsabers, like you said. You can kind of hit them against each other, and they'll make sparks and smoke and that sort of stuff. And likewise, if you kind of drag it on the floor, it'll make marks on the floor, like it's burning through it. And it's like the little details like that I thought, really made it feel like it's an actual lightsaber. So.
No, for sure. And we've talked about this before, but like the haptic feedback on the controllers, I don't know what it is, but there's just something that feels really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say realistic, because you're not holding it and like, you can't, when you're cutting through a wall, you're still cutting through a wall. But for some reason, like they've just done a fantastic job, both with, on the developer side on how to use the controllers, and also for the company, for HTC, how they've designed, these first generation controllers, I think has been fantastic. And this goes across not just this game, but, a lot of the games that we've played.
Sure.
So, yeah, I would recommend it to anyone out there. If you're looking for a game that's fun to play, that's fun to show to first-time VR users, or not even first-time VR users, it definitely has replay value. So, highly recommend it. And yeah. So, did you have another game, Ronnie?
None for this week. But I did purchase a game called VR the Diner Duo, which I'm really excited to play. And I also have La Prairie, which I downloaded a while ago, but I hadn't gotten a chance to check out yet because I needed to get Viveport working correctly on my computer. But both of those ones I'm super excited to try. And I'm going to, talk more about that next week. But just in general, the Diner Duo experience, it looks like it's a really fun game. It looks like there might be some local multiplayer involved, so you could play it with friends. I don't know exactly how that's going to work yet, but I'm interested to find out. So I will keep you guys posted.
I did see that, and that might look like something I might be getting as well. When you say local multiplayer, how does that work?
I'm not sure because I haven't gotten to try it out yet. I just read it in the description, and it says local multiplayer, which means that, it wouldn't be like online with other Vive players. So my guess is that other people are going to somehow interact with controllers or the keyboard, or honestly, I have no idea. But anytime I see something like that, mentioning local multiplayer, it makes me interested. So I'll have to, like I said, I'll report back next week. And if you get it too, we could both maybe talk about it. We'll see. It's about $15, I think, right now in the store, but it has like 55 reviews plus. It has a very, very positive rating in Steam right now. And it just looks like it would be a lot of fun. So I decided to pick it up.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I got Space Pirate Trainer, but I haven't had a chance to actually try it yet. So I will try to get that and give an updated review, which I think. Okay, yeah. I think we mentioned last week. So
I think you'll like that game a lot. So that'll be really good for next week as well. So it sounds like we should be able to report back on some pretty cool stuff next week.
For sure. And there's a lot of cool stuff that I saw on Steam, so it's just a matter of having the time. But you know what? This weekend looks pretty open, and I'm excited to dive into a lot of the newer games that have come out. So we'll definitely have some fun stuff for you guys next week. So with that being said, let's go ahead and announce the winners for the Containment Initiative giveaway that we've been running since last week. So from the podcast review on iTunes, just want to say congrats to Nadine8415. And we had a couple people on YouTube who had left comments and subscribed. So Jack Tutko and Mordresh are our winners. So if the three of you can shoot us a quick email at contact@everythingvive.com, we will get you that information and the Steam key. So with that, we'll wrap things up and have another episode of Vive and VR news for you guys on Monday. Hope you have a fantastic day, weekend, and whatever you have coming up. Stay safe, and we will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Thanks again for tuning in.